Hello, my name is Fox and you're watching Den of Fools. Let's jump right in. In week 31 of 2023, we had 85 tournaments with a total of 1,623 players and 6,063 games played. Rather surprisingly, the Custodians are at the top with 15 wins, 26 top 3 placings, and the best weighted placing of the factions with more than a few players. They have a very good week in terms of winning tournaments, demonstrated by their weighted placing of 7.9. This is a massive improvement on the 20.8 they got last week. The vast majority of their wins did come from the smaller tournaments, with only one win in the tournaments over 20 players. Regardless, I must say it is nice to have a faction other than Aeldari at the top of the placings. Speaking of Aeldari, they are in second with 10 wins and 34 top 3 placings. Their weighted placing is 13.7, which is significantly higher than the 6.3 they got last week. They did win more big tournaments than Custodians, but they still only managed 3. Perhaps the majority of players have taken a list to counter Aeldari, and some factions, such as Custodians, can do that reasonably well. The Necrons come next with 8 wins and 20 top 3 placings. They continue to show good form, with a decent weighted placing of 15.4. Another faction I estimate plays quite well against Aeldari. The Genestealer Cults are the last faction in blue. They also get 8 wins, and the second best weighted placing of 8.4. They also get the most wins in the tournaments with more than 20 players with 5. They see a big improvement on last week's weighted placing of 28. It looks like players have adapted to the FAQ changes. It'll be interesting to see if their good form continues. Imperial Knights top the green group with 6 wins and a weighted placing of 17.7, an improvement on the 23.6 they got last week. The Thousand Sons also get 6 wins, but the best weighted placing in the green group with 11.7. The Space Marines come next with 5 wins, but the highest weighted placing overall with 56.6. Chaos Space Marines and Demons also get 5 wins, but much better weighted placings with 16.6 and 14.8 respectively. The Grey Knights have a surprisingly good week, with 4 wins and the third best weighted placing of 8.5. Perhaps top Grey Knight players have finally found a competitive build for the faction. All 25 factions manage at least one top 10 placing, with the Space Marines getting the most top 10s with 133. The Aeldari are in second on 79, a rather large drop from last week. The Custodians are in third with 63, narrowly beating out Necrons, who are one top 10 placing behind. Unsurprisingly, the Space Marines are the most played faction with 17.44% of players taking them. Aeldari are the second most popular faction on 8.44%, followed by Necrons in third on 7.58%. The Custodians just dropped back into 4th place, seeing a slight decrease in their popularity. It takes our resident stats guru and Ultramarine fanboy Fearless Fox many hours to collect all the data. It would be great if you could show your appreciation by liking and sharing the video. It really helps us with the God algorithm of YouTube. We have grouped the win rates by colour, with the key at the bottom of the screen. This week, the second most popular faction, Aeldari, topped the win rates with 64.1%. They are still incredibly strong, however, they were not as effective at winning tournaments this week. I personally think factions such as Custodians, Necrons and Genestealers have the tools to compete with Aeldari reasonably well. And with Aeldari being so popular, I'm sure the top players of these factions are taking the most anti-Aeldari lists they can. Having said that, they did get the top 3 placings at this week's biggest tournament, the Leeds Super Major, which had 195 players. Do you think these factions play well against Aeldari, or did they simply have a bad week? Let us know what you think in the comments. The Genestealer Cults were in second with a win rate of 62.8%. They did top the individual placings at the Gladiator Gaming Teams Tournament, an 80-player event. We will be covering this in an upcoming tournament spotlight. We have chosen to cover this one rather than the Leeds Super Major, as we have already seen quite a few winning Aeldari lists in 10th. Custodians topped the green group with a win rate of 56.3%. Combined with the best weighted placing this week, they are definitely one of the strongest factions at the moment. The Thousand Sons come next with a win rate of 55.2%, just outside of the Goldilocks zone. The Imperial Knights are still a force to be reckoned with. They get a win rate of 53.4%. Chaos Demons come next with a win rate of 51.6%. They got second place in the aforementioned Gladiator Gaming Team Tournament. Chaos Space Marines are the last faction in green, with a win rate of 50.5%. The third most popular faction, Necrons, top the yellow group, with a win rate of 48.6%. Their win rate is still slightly below what I would expect, considering they are performing well at winning tournaments. The Grey Knights get a win rate of 47.1% to go alongside the third best weighted placing this week. This is another week with a better win rate. Perhaps the teleporting shenanigans are finally working for the Sons of Titan. The most popular faction, Space Marines, get a win rate of 42.9%. Stay tuned to later on the video, where we will look at the win rates for the individual chapters. Of course, the second most popular faction, Aeldari, topped the Leviathan to date win rates with an impressive 65.9%. It looks like they are settling on a win rate of roughly 65%. The Genestealer cult are in second with a win rate of 61.6%, with their weekly win rate being slightly higher. Perhaps the confirmation that Acolytes come back with their demo charges restocked is helping them out significantly, even if they have to reappear closer to the ambush markers. The Imperial Knights just hold on to third, with a win rate of 55.7%. The third most popular faction, Custodies, are just behind, with a win rate of 54.8%. I estimate in another week or two, they will claim third place for themselves. The Thousand Sons are on a win rate of 51.9%. They are doing rather well in 10th at the moment. Chaos Demons have just overtaken Tyranids. They have a win rate of 50.5%. The Tyranids are the last faction in green, with a win rate of 50.3%. Of course, this may well change when their codex is released. The most popular faction, Space Marines, get a win rate of 43.4%, with a further 9 factions below them, 5 of which are in red. These factions will be eagerly awaiting the next balance update, with only the Grey Knights performing much better in the weekly win rates. They are improving on their win rate of 41.9% in 10th so far. If they continue to perform well, they may well make it to the Goldilocks zone. This week, the Death Watch topped the win rates with 53.6%. They are seemingly the most competitive Space Marine chapter at the moment. The Salamanders top the Yellow Group with a win rate of 46.5%, with the Imperial Fist just behind with 46.4%. The third most popular chapter, the Black Templars, are the last faction in the Goldilocks zone, with a win rate of 46.1%. The most popular chapter, the Dark Angels, come next, with a win rate of 43.4%. They are followed by the second most popular chapter, the Ultramarines, who get a win rate of 42.2%. That's a significant improvement on their win rate of 37% last week. The Space Wolves top the Red Group with a win rate of 38.9%, just ahead of the Blood Angels, who have a win rate of 38.6%. The Death Watch are increasing their lead at the top of the Leviathan to date win rates. They are now on 51.8%. They are the only chapter in the Green Group, with the Iron Hands topping the Yellow Group with a win rate of 48.4%. The Salamanders come next with a win rate of 48.1%. They perform much better than the Iron Hands this week. If that continues, they will overtake them to claim the third spot for themselves. The Raven Guard are next with a win rate of 46.2%. The Dark Angels are just the most popular chapter. They have a win rate of 44.2%. The Imperial Fists are just behind with a win rate of 44.1%. The Space Wolves get a win rate of 43.5%, followed by the third most popular chapter, the Black Templars, who have a win rate of 42.6%. The second most popular chapter, the Ultramarines, are the last of the known chapters in yellow, with a win rate of 41.4%. The Blood Angels have far more players than the rest of the chapters in red. They are still struggling with a win rate of 39.1%. This week, the majority of the Chaos Space Marine warbands are unknown, so we'll go straight into Leviathan so far. The 12 Emperor's Children players top the win rates with 58.3%. Perhaps they are performing slightly better, as they are running Lucius as the Warlord to take Noise Marines as battle line. They could also be taking some Keeper of Secrets or Salaxi Hellbane in support. The Iron Warriors are on a win rate of 53.4%, with the Red Corsairs getting a win rate of 47.8%. The Weird Bearers get a win rate of 47.2%, followed by the most popular warband, the Black Legion, who get a win rate of 46.7%. The Night Lords have a win rate of 44.6%, with the Alpha Legion on 42.6%. If you enjoyed our content, please subscribe, check out one of the videos on screen, and consider using our affiliate links in the description. Thank you for watching.